Welcome to the Rewards Master. Today I'm going to start a new series where periodically I'll do videos on how to have a really good, affordable beginner credit card setup that gives you access to lots of different currencies. So we're going to look at a few today with a starting price tag of less than $250 a year in annual fees. And if you use the credits, they're actually going to pay you to have these cards. So let's get ready to dive in. And as we do, if you would hit the like and subscribe button, that helps me a lot. I'm marching towards 1,000 subscribers. So do that and we'll dive in together. So there's a lot of videos out there that talk about what the best setup is for a beginner. And one of the things that's always been odd to me is how it's always kind of oversimplistic in that usually people suggest a trifecta or a quadfecta, or they say a duo. And so oftentimes with Capital One, they say you need these two cards, the Saver and the Venture X. And when it comes to Chase, they'll say you need the Freedom Flex and you need the Freedom Unlimited and you need the Sapphire Preferred. And same thing with Citi, Citi Custom Cash and along with the Citi Strata Premier. And they'll kind of try to point newbies in the direction of just a single issuer. And it kind of struck me, why do we do that? Because the thing is that I have found great benefit in having points spread across multiple issuers, multiple card companies, because sometimes there's different transfer bonuses that some are offering and others aren't. Many of them have many of the same partners. So Air France, you can transfer from just about all of them. Same thing with Virgin, same thing with British Airways. I mean, there's a lot of those and some have unique partners. Sometimes you need, sometimes you don't. So I think the very best setup would be the one that for a beginner doesn't cost very much and gives you the most flexibility with the most points currencies. So that's kind of what I'm going to try to explore. And I really don't know if it'll work. I haven't done this. I'm way farther in the game than this. But I know if I was starting out, I wouldn't want to just have Chase or just have American Express or just have Citi or whatever it may be. I'd want to have that flexibility because I have found over and over that flexibility is extremely, extremely valuable. So what I've set up today is I'm going to present to you a setup with 5 credit cards that all together have less than a $250 annual fee. And they earn in 5 different ecosystems. And I've set this up based upon kind of a budget that I put together. And this is the budget that I've based it on. I figure a person would either on their rent or mortgage would pay around in this fictional budget $1,500 a month. And then we have some other ones like, for instance, dining. I figured that at about $300 a month. And then groceries, I figured at $500 a month. Phone plan, $150 a month. Gasoline, $200 a month. Streaming services, $50 a month. Flights, spread out over the year, I figure a person would take 2 or 3 paid flights. They'd be between $400 and $600 a piece. So I planned that out at about $100 a month for flights. Transit, $100 a month, because I'm including in that some entertainment things when you're traveling on trips and things of that nature. And then finally, a miscellaneous spend category of $400 a month. And so putting that all together, I think that's a pretty conservative budget. I mean, a lot of people, especially with a family or if they're part of a couple, they're going to spend a lot more than that. So take that with a grain of salt. Your budget probably, in fact, almost assuredly does not fit into that. But I'm just using it for comparison and example of what kind of benefits this system for a very, very low annual fee threshold could provide the beginning person who's wanting to get kind of at a more advanced level into points and miles and have access to lots and lots of currencies. So what are the cards that I chose? The first one is from American Express to get you into the American Express ecosystem. The most expensive card on this list is the Amex Green card. Now, the Amex Green card is $150 a year, but it does give you a credit towards Clear. And that's a program where if you are signed up for that and you've paid your fee, you can go through your airport if they have it in your local airport. About, seems to me like a little more than half of the airports I go through have it. And you can go through and you can either just look into the camera and it'll scan your eye, or you can put your thumbprint there, and then somebody just takes you to the front of the security line. So it's kind of a neat thing. I think TSA PreCheck's probably a little better, and it's really good if you have them both. But it's kind of a nice benefit. It costs $199, and you get it free with this $150 card. Now, the Amex Green card has a lot of good multipliers. It has multipliers of 3x on dining, it has 3x on travel and on transit. And then, of course, all of these will give you 1x on everything you buy. But the card also, in the first year, gives a 40,000 point sign-up bonus after a $3,000 spend in 3 months. So that's a pretty good sign-up bonus for kind of one of their beginner entry, lower fee type of cards. So why am I putting the Amex there? Well, first of all, I'm trying to, for a low total annual fee, trying to get across multiple ecosystems, and I just don't see how you can do a video like this or develop a plan and not have access to American Express membership rewards points. So this card will give you that. It'll give you access to their transfer partners. And the one multiplier we're going to focus on here is the travel and transit. So this is the one that will be used for when you take subways, or if you take Uber or Lyft, or any type of rail, if you're going to travel on a train, anything like that is going to be for this American Express Green card. And that's our first card on the list. The second card is really going to be foundational in this, and I know it's going to be a little bit controversial because some people are going to watch this video and say, why did you do that? But I do not have any Chase cards on this list. And the reason I don't have any Chase cards on this list is because I'm replacing them with the Bilt Mastercard. And the reason I'm doing that is because the Bilt Mastercard pretty much is a clone of the Chase Sapphire Preferred, which is their card that gives you access to all of their different transfer partners. But here's the thing. Pretty much Bilt has a very similar, if not the same, transfer partner list, with some that are even better. So the big reasons people like Chase is because they have things like Hyatt, and because they have United Airlines, and they have Southwest, and all of those transfer partners. Well, guess what? Bilt has Hyatt, Bilt has United, but Bilt also has Alaska, which Alaska has some of the very, very best redemptions. But here's the other thing. To get into that ecosystem with Chase, you got to get the Sapphire Preferred, and that card is $95 a year. The Bilt Mastercard, as it currently sits, now they may change it later on, but I think they'll always have a zero annual fee option. This card has a $0 annual fee, and you get access to the transfer partners. But the real superpower of the Bilt card, even though you do not get a sign-up bonus at all, you can put your rent on this card, get points for it, and it doesn't cost you any fees. And in the very near future, they have made very clear they're going to provide that for mortgages. So whether or not you rent or whether you own your home, it is just a points parade as we move forward with the Bilt Mastercard. Now, the multipliers, not only that rent, not only that being able to pay your mortgage in the very near future, but I think this card is really foundational because it has a 3x dining multiplier. Now, a lot of the cards on this list have a 3x dining multiplier. The Amex card did, and as we move on, we're going to have others that have that 3x multiplier. In fact, most of the cards on this list, all except for one, you could use any of them at a dining restaurant, and you're going to get 3x. The reason I think this one should be used is because the points are just a little bit more valuable, and also because on rent day, if you plan it out right, I buy gift cards on rent day, which is the first day of the month with Bilt. Everything is doubled, and it's going to give you a big boost of points because you're going to be able to put those dining points, which is a larger spend category, together with your rent or mortgage points, and that gives you a bigger pool. And because Bilt has the very best, now they don't do it all the time, it's kind of random when they choose to do it, but on their rent days they have the best transfer bonuses in the business with 50%, 75%, sometimes 100% transfer bonuses to partners. So I think that all things being equal, most of these cards having a 3X category on dining, this is the one that should be used for dining. The third card on the list is in the Citi Thank You Points ecosystem, and it's the Strata Premier card. Now the Citi Strata Premier, it is going to give you a sign-up bonus. The best sign-up bonus we're looking at on this list. So in the first year, you're going to get 75,000 Citi Thank You Points for $4,000 in spend, which is a big, big boost to Citi Points. It has a $95 annual fee, which, that's not great, but it also comes with a $100 hotel credit when you spend $500 on a hotel through their portal. So if you use that, then you're going to get $5 more back than you paid in the annual fee. Now, this card has some interesting multipliers. When you do book through their portal, you get 10x on rental cars and you get 10x on hotels. So perhaps that would be a great category for a person to spend in if they're going to book a hotel, book it through the portal, get 10x points. But really what we're going to use this for, even though it does have a 3X dining category, it has 3X categories in both groceries and in gasoline, which are two pretty much big categories in most people's budgets. So this is the card we're going to use for 3X grocery and 3X on our gas purchases. Now, the fourth card on the list gets us into the kind of new Wells Fargo ecosystem. Wells Fargo hasn't had transfer partners very long, and they don't have very many. But the ones they have are pretty good because they kind of share them with many of the other systems. So you can kind of top off with Wells Fargo and this and that and the other. But Wells Fargo, we're going to look at the autograph card. Their autograph card has a $0 annual fee, so it costs nothing to keep the card. It only has a 20,000 point sign-up bonus, but you only got to spend $1,000 to get that sign-up bonus. So this one, the reason we're going to focus on it is it gives 3X on two categories we don't have covered yet. 3X on streaming services and 3X on your phone bill. So this is what you'll put your streaming services and your phone bill. In other words, unless you chose to put some dining on this, which like I said, it has 3X on that too, like all but one do on this list, you're going to just this is going to be a drawer card. It's going to be sitting in the drawer and you're going to use it to pay your phone bill and to pay your streaming services. And it's not really one you'd necessarily have to carry if you didn't want to. The last card on the list, which will not only be the fifth card, but it'll also get us into the fifth ecosystem. And again, this one is going to be controversial as well, because as a catch-all card, it is not a great catch-all card. Here's the problem though. There are a lot of, and somebody's going to make in the comments, well, you could have got the Citi double cash and got 2X points as your catch-all card. And I could have. And they might say, well, there's a Wells Fargo card that gives 2X back. And there is. And someone is going to say the Blue Business Plus from American Express gives 2X membership rewards points on everything. And it does. Here's the thing. That membership rewards points earning card, the Blue Business Plus, is a business card. So I would go with that one instead of the one I'm going to suggest here. But I'm kind of assuming that somebody new to this hobby isn't going to be comfortable going into business cards. And this does also add a fifth ecosystem. And that is, and just get ready for it, grit your teeth, those of you who are big time into this game, because the last one for the catch-all card is the Capital One Venture One card. Now, of all the venture cards, this is the baby brother. It's not great. It does have a sign-up bonus, 20,000 points after you spend only $500. It's $0 annual fee, and it gets 1.25 on everything you buy. Now, the venture card, it gets 2X on everything you buy. The Venture X, it gets 2X on everything you buy. They're way better, but they both have annual fees. And the Venture One will allow you to transfer those Capital One miles over to partners. So I had that as a basic criteria. So as far as all of the kind of basic level, yes, with the Blue Business Plus, you can transfer over to membership rewards partners. But I wanted kind of a general spending card that gets an elevated multiplier on just everything you buy, that also gave you access to a new ecosystem and also gave you the ability to transfer to partners. So that's the list. The Amex Green Card, the Bilt Rewards Mastercard, the Strata Premier Card from Citi, the Wells Fargo Autograph, and the Capital One Venture One. If you've got all 5 of those in 1 year, you would have a setup where you can transfer out of 5 different ecosystems. You're earning points in all 5 of those ecosystems, and you've got really a good multiplier in a lot of different categories regarding your budget every month. Also with this, you got quite a few sign-up bonuses. So in that first year, you're going to get 155,000 points just from sign-up bonuses, with that 40,000 from the Green Card, 75,000 from the Strata Card, 20,000 from the Venture Card, and 20,000 from the Autograph Card. So that is a huge boost of a lot of miles. I mean, that's 2 business class flights to Europe right there just from the sign-up bonuses. And your total annual fees on this are only $245 a year. And you're getting back, if you use that Clear credit and you get that and you use it, and if you buy a hotel of $500 or more through the Citi portal, you're getting back $100. So even though you're spending $245 a year, less than $250, you would be receiving back $299 a year in credit, which is positive net annual fee. So what does that budget look like? Well, I figured it out. So we're not talking about year 1, because in year 1, you're going to have to spend on whatever card you're trying to hit the bonus on. But after year 1, when we get to year 2, on all those categories we talked about in the beginning, if you spent exactly what we discussed, $1,500 on rent or mortgage, if you spent $300 on dining and all the rest of the things we talked about, this is what you'd end up with. You'd have 3,600 American Express membership rewards points at the end of the year. That's not a lot, but you could shift your spending if you needed more. But where it really gets better is when it comes to Bilt, because of both paying your mortgage or rent and also dining, you'd have 28,800 Bilt points. And then when we look at Citi, also a big use card in this setup because of both groceries and gas. This one's going to give you 25,200 Citi Thank You Rewards points in that year. Then we look at Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo doesn't have as many high spend categories, so you get 7,200 Wells Fargo points in the year. And then Capital One, and this is pretty poor for a general spend card, but you'd get 6,000 Capital One points. Adding it all together, that's 70,800 points per year just spending on normal things, and you only have a $245 annual fee. So I'd love to hear what you think of this in the comment. Maybe you think that it's better to go back to a Citi trifecta or a Chase trifecta or an Amex trifecta. But I was trying to think, how could a person get a lot of points, be across a lot of ecosystems, have a lot of flexibility, and have very low annual fees? So for beginners, maybe this is the way to go for you. Thank you for watching today, and I hope you'll both like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you here next time.